Hello. So this is going to be sort of like a general love reading for Aries for the month of December. And of course, as the month goes by, I will be looking at the weekly and daily energies as well. But I want to sort of like an overview of what the month will look like for Aries. So let's go ahead and get into that right away. I feel like I need to shuffle it a little. Need to shuffle the cards a little more because I have been doing so many readings with these cards, and sometimes I feel that the energy doesn't completely dissipate when I go from one reading to another, because a lot of times I keep seeing the same cards popping up on subsequent readings, and I just want to make sure that everything is as mixed in as possible. So that we do let the energy for Aries to come in. By the way, I do believe that something really big is happening astrologically on this month. I believe Saturn is changing signs, and it's going into Capricorn, and Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, so Saturn is at home on Capricorn, and it's going to stay there for the better part of the next 3 years. It's going to stay there since the end of 2017 until 2020. And of course, we all know that Capricorn and being ruled by Saturn is all about structure and rules and seriousness and doing everything by the book. Following the rules. It's all about authority. It's also all about following your costumes and your cultural norms and all of that good stuff that we all know Capricorn for. So I think that for a lot of people who want to start their business, since this is all about structure and it's also about corporations, it's about a whole lot of anything that has to do with management, pretty much will be blessed. People who want to get organized might finally be able to, because this astrological combination will be very very beneficial for those people looking for that type of stuff. So now we're going to start the love reading for Aries for the month of December. So Aries, what is your love life looking like for the month of December, the whole month? So I have 7 of Swords, King of Coins, and the Queen of Wands. Okay, so Aries, you are a fire sign, okay? With all your passion and all of your readiness and your physical force, you might find yourself involved in a love triangle, it looks like. Or because it's either going to be the King of Coins, which is an earth sign, and the Queen of Wands, which is a fire sign like yourself. So this could be two different people, or this could be you, my fire sign, getting in some sort of romantic relationship with an earth sign, but there is going to be deceit. There is going to be deceit. Why? Because we have the Seven of Swords here. So somebody's lying to somebody, or some lies will be discovered between the two, or somebody will find out that they have been lied to all along. Okay? Wheel of Fortune. It seems to me that this is some sort of fated relationship. This was supposed to happen. Okay? It's definitely going to be a trying time for you. Yeah. Well, somehow, it's going to be a trying time for you, but somehow at the end of it all, you are going to find stability. It seems that this episode, maybe there is a third party involved, and at the end of it all, that third party will cease to exist, and there will be more stability in this relationship if you decide to stay. But there is definitely going to be a lot of struggle, and that is coming from the Ten of Swords, and it's pretty much it's coming from the part of the King of Coins, the Earth sign. Now this person could be a Capricorn, Taurus, or a Virgo. Okay. But for some reason, my intuition tells me that most likely, this is more likely it will be a Taurus person. Just because the energy that this card is giving me right now it's that of not to say that Tauruses are heavy, but Tauruses have that energy that they give off that makes them feel like they are the most stable thing in the universe. It's like they are the Rock of Gibraltar. It comes with, it precedes them. That stability and that heaviness comes before them. Like, you know, a Taurus is coming because you feel the energy approaching you before you even see them turning the corner. So yeah, your month it's about it's bound to start with a little bit of drama and a little bit of deceit. So be careful. I mean, you might not even realize that this is going on until you are already too deep into it. So just know that there is a chance that it will happen. So if I were you, I'm not saying don't get involved. I mean, the outcome I feel is a positive outcome because you have the Four of Wands, and this person, which I think it represents you, the Queen of Wands. Underneath the Queen of Wands, I have the Four of Wands. Queens are nurturing, and they offer stability also because of the nurturing nature. And having the Four of Wands show up right before, and it's right after the Ten of Wands shows up, which it's definitely the card of struggle, of having too many things on your hands, of having of not delegating things. Then there are some things that you just can't delegate. There are problems that you just have to deal with them, because you are the only person who can solve them. Your romantic life, you are the only person who can solve it, right? So this is most definitely, there's a, like I said before, there's an element of fate in this relationship, okay? And there is a lot of fire. So I also feel like, well, fire is the most prominent element in this reading at the moment, which tells me that there is going to be a lot of physical activity. And I mean, I'm not surprised, because if you are going to get involved with somebody, most likely at some point you'll get physical, right? So let's remember that wands are all about passion, movement, physical movement. It's about the body, the physical body, as you, as one side of you, right? When I say physical, I don't mean physical in the way the earth element is physical, which is it represents it's things that you can touch, like tangible things. But the earth element is physical when it comes to things that you can own. Although, yeah, I suppose you can make the argument that you own your body, but it's a different concept altogether, I feel. I hope I'm making myself clear. Either way, let's pull a couple of cards and see. King of Cups. So hopefully, the King of Cups shows up underneath the Wheel of Fortune. So again, this definitely is love. So there might be struggles in this relationship or in this encounter, but there is definitely real love, and this is a stable kind of love, because the King of Cups is all about, kings are all about control and stability. Yes, they control a kingdom, right? They are the head of an army, so they have to control, and they represent the utmost structure in a kingdom, right? Because they are the head, and because this is in the suit of cups, then we can expect that this talks about a love that is tempered, because it is control. It is a mature kind of love, and there could well be some arguments, not necessarily heated arguments. It could be just exchanges of ideas, and maybe talks about the relationship, or where is this going, how is this going to end once the deceit is discovered here on the Ten of Swords. Once this comes to light, which it doesn't necessarily seem like it's going to happen on December, but it's more like this relationship would enter an important phase in December. So most likely you guys already know each other, and you're already talking, and you're probably already on the early stages. And I would say yes, because the Page of Swords appears here, and pages are all about beginnings. Okay, and it's all about at this point the seed is already planted, and you're just waiting for the first set of leaves to spring. I will say that the first set of leaves already sprang, because again, there is a lot of stability in this relationship. It's just the Seven of Swords here that has me worried. There's something here that's hidden that no one's talking about, because one of the parties just doesn't know. I have the Empress here, and it is underneath you, Aries. And you are being represented by the Queen of Wands. If this doesn't mean that there is another person involved, this represents you. So we have the Four of Wands right underneath you, which I think represents that you end up feeling very stable. But then we have the Empress underneath all it all, and this lady is pregnant. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily mean that there is a child, although that could very well be it. You know, you could be pregnant. You could end up being pregnant, and as a result of that, even end up getting married with this to this person, because the Four of Wands traditionally is also seen as the card of marriage. And I see you, Aries, on this very stable situation where you might end up pregnant. Okay, also that could mean that there is a lot of abundance in your relationship. It could also mean that there's the relationship is a very nurturing relationship for you and the other person involved as well. So you guys are probably meant for each other, which I don't doubt, because you have the Wheel of Fortune here. And again, the Wheel of Fortune, it talks about the changes in the cycles that we go through, but it also talks about fate. It is one of these cards that sort of reflect karma, right? It doesn't just talk about changes. It also talks about those things that are meant to happen to you, because fate, because they're fatal encounters. They're just supposed to happen, right? They're written on the book. It's part of the contract you signed when you decided to come to this earth, if you believe in that sort of stuff. So this is what's on the cards for you, Aries, for this December. So there is a relationship with an earth sign, or there is something deceiving happening with a third-party situation, and you probably don't know that yet, and you might not find out necessarily this month, although you could. I don't see it happening, because there's nothing in here that actually shows this coming to light, at least not to me. This relationship with this person will be a matter of fate. You were destined to have this relation with this person. You were destined to go through this dramatic moment. However, at the end of it all, you'll find stability. And it seems that this relationship, once it becomes stable, will be a very nurturing relationship for the two of you. Okay? So that's all I have for you, and I'll see you tomorrow.